Welcome, everybody, to our Wednesday Energy Talk here on Skype Live. My name is Jona Bryndis, and you hear the birds and all the stuff going on in the air here around me outside in my healing tent in Florida. So that is part of the deal. I'm not sitting inside in the studio, I'm sitting outside. I'm looking at plants, I'm looking at animals, I'm looking at the wind moving those plants, and that helps me. All right, it sustains me, it clears me. Anyhow, yeah, so sometimes we have interruptions. We come together here on Wednesdays to talk about the deeper aspects of those energies that we can all feel, that we can feel as in the effects that it has on us. And whether you are someone who has been around that spiritual corner for a while, or if you somebody who's just really starting to realize that there are other things than just, whatever's going on in the news, or whatever's going on in your life at this very moment that affect or that can affect your energy. And that is so true. Yeah, so here within the Sacred Self-Healing community, we do this for years and years. Yeah, find a safe place where we can talk about our subjective experience. For that purpose, I always give a little bit of an overview of what these current energies are that I can read out in the collective. This is something, by the way, that I train. I train people and also other energy healers to read out etheric energies. The next course, by the way, is coming up on December 2nd. That is called the Energy Course, how to read energies, how to navigate them, and perhaps also how to best apply them, for your personal manifestation. December 2nd, 6 weeks. And it's always a pleasure to do this with you guys, no matter where you guys are from, what kind of prerequisites or what kind of pre-education you have. This is going through all the different levels of etheric perception. So this week, as I've announced in the energy forecast for November, it comes with a very strong activation energy. So if you've listened into my free 20-minute MP3 energy alignment for this month, which is called activation, I am referring to this time now as these energies are coming in for us. What do these energies feel like? Now, you will be happy to hear that for most of you, this will feel like an upswing, like, you just have more energy. And the way that translates into your life can be very different. For some of you, it's physical. You feel much more awake and you feel like you can do much more. Maybe you feel like you want to clean out your closets or doing something like that, and you're not getting tired. You actually have more physical energy. It can also play out as in you having like really cool creative input. Yeah, feeling like you want to start something new, you want to redecorate your home, or you want to do something that helps you organize things. It's always good to translate, these incoming energies into what helps you to make your life more sustainable. And it is in the nature of us energetically sensitives, those of us who pick up on these energies consciously, that clutter around us, dirt as well, but clutter specifically can really frazzle our energy and make it harder for us to stay centered. Now, in the past weeks, we've talked a bit about how to shift our energy, how to center our energy, and why that is important. Let me just review this. Okay, if we are not centered, all right, this means that we cannot feel ourselves right. And when we cannot feel ourselves right, whether it be our emotions or our body, or sometimes even our own thoughts, then we have a tendency to make bad choices because we are not really making those choices in a conscious way. We cannot be conscious if we are not fully present within ourselves. That's super, super important. And there's many reasons, yeah, that have to do with our ego and the job our ego has, why it can be hard for us sometimes to, well, look at the things that are bothering us or face them or, do the things that are necessary to resolve them. And therefore, our ego has these mechanisms, yeah, we call them coping mechanisms, that kind of protect us from having to look at them, which then in return creates a little bit of sort of systemic blindness. Yeah. Now, let me give you an example how this can happen, how this can alter or skew our perception and therefore lead to us not being fully centered. It can take things that are, let's say, fundamentally against our own core values and normalize them. Do you guys know what I mean with that? It can, just sort of our ego can take things that are really not okay, yeah, and come up with almost like it's if you actually listen to the justifications, yeah, you will agree with me, like dumb reasons, yeah, dumb excuses. They will sound somewhat logical at the time when you're off center. When you're off center, you will not notice how dumb that excuse is. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any examples right now, but there are some things like such as those of you who want to add maybe more exercise to your life, or that want to eat healthier, or that want to refrain from, taking certain substances. All right. And a dumb excuse can sound something like, oh, this is not a good moment to quit, whatever it is that you want to quit, um, because I'm going through this or that. Or something like, oh, just one more time and then, just one more week, yeah, or one more month or something like that. All right, so as we are telling ourselves these things, and this happens so fast that we don't catch this, all right, we are normalizing something that we shouldn't be normalizing. And this is relevant here for this next period here that is coming up in November, as we're entering sort of the middle of the month. Because this activation that I was talking about, yeah, that, brings in more energy, does not just do good things to us. It can also, amplify, or it will amplify everything. So if you are, in some kind of illusion, or you normalize something that is really not good for you, all right, what you're doing is amplifying that. And when you do this over a longer period of time, guys, what happens is that your sense of self starts sort of latching onto it, and you start believing that that is how you are conducting or experiencing reality. Yeah, let me take a different example where it may come out a little more clearly. You're in a relationship that is really bad for you, or you're in a job that is really bad for you, okay? And you really feel this sort of disdain or resentment toward what it is that you're experiencing every day. But you have other reasons, for example, money, yeah, when it is a job, sometimes also when it's a relationship, or you have a fear, yeah, you fear to be alone more than being in a shitty relationship. There's many of us who are not aware that We make these exceptions sometimes out of fear. Yeah, and the same with jobs. We tell ourselves, oh, it's not that bad. At least I get this or this or that. And when this activation energy comes in, guys, you're getting into trouble because it amplifies everything in your life that is not true. And those things that are not true in your life, they, appear as obstacles. They appear as things in your life where you either get confused and don't know what to do, or where you create like really big sort of schisms inside of yourself where one part of you wants this or has this kind of goal or value, and the other part of you says, it's not that important. Oh, we can do this later. Oh, at least I'm getting this and this and this out of this. And this activation that I am talking about here will make that front and center. Okay, so the more you are not in your center, the less you will be able to understand what's going on. Now, the way this is going to feel for you is that you feel extremely agitated, that you feel like the world is literally against you, and that all you want to do is hide or check out. And hiding and checking out is a coping mechanism that is not advisable in this time here, in this next week, until the 14th, 15th. This is a time where you really want to pay attention to what is displayed in your life. You want to review it, maybe even clear out some things, and complete. This is a time of completion, and even though it is a new moon, which normally stands for new beginnings, that is coming up here in this week, okay? It is more important right now to focus on the completion, the clearing out, and seeing things for what they are. Because what will follow this activation, what will follow here these next 6 to 8 weeks till the end of the year, guys, is an enormous manifestation power. It's basically like as if somebody hands you a wand and says, whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that you're feeling, will become true. And the problem with that is that if you're not aware of what you're thinking, of what you're feeling, it's like the Wizard's Apprentice, the Sorcerer's Apprentice. I once told my son that everything that he holds in mind, everything that he puts out in form of his feelings, is something that will manifest in his life. He was about 6 years old. Every thought, every sentiment. And he looked at me shocked and he started crying. And he said, no, I don't want this. I don't want all my thoughts and all my feelings to manifest. And I looked at him and I said, I know, me neither. That's why we all need to learn, to stay more centered and become more conscious of what it is that we're thinking and the sentiments that we have. So bear this in mind, guys, here for these next, these end of the year energies. They're extremely sort of foretelling, and whatever it is that you focus on, that you put out, conscious or unconscious, will begin to manifest in April. As a matter of fact, and this is why this is so important here around the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th of November, yeah, it will set a new cycle, a new 14-year cycle. You know how I always talk about those time capsules? This is the backwards look, yeah? So now we're starting a new time capsule in these days here to come, all right, that will find its completion in 14 years. That is 2037. Are you ready to live with what it is that you're manifesting right now? Because if you're not, if you're getting pulled into the things that are going around in our collective, what are the kind of sentiments and thoughts and pictures that are going on in our collective? Where do we see them? How do we measure them? We see them in the mainstream media. The mainstream media, yeah, feeds that which people want to see, that which people are focused on. And in that, it often also funnels people's sentiments and thoughts and visualizations. Yeah, this is the mind control aspect that I always talk about. But we cannot just point fingers and say, oh, the bad mainstream media, because they live off our money. They live off our consumer choices, all right? And they do just what most people want. So even if you have a different mindset, yeah, around certain consumer products or whatever it is that you support politically or spiritually for that matter, yeah, will kind of go under because we have these collective energies, which are those culminated energies of everybody. But the point here of me talking about mainstream media is that mainstream media is also a mirror. Yeah, so it's not all just like conspiracy theory, bad people sitting there and manipulating everybody else. No, it's an exchange. So they're also reflecting back what people want. And as sad as that is, how this goes. Now, the more conscious you become, the less affected you are by mainstream media and the more you will opt out. However, the majority of people still really caught in that. And so when we look at collective energies, yeah, then a big part of those, yeah, a big part of this collective field is determined by what people go for. And this is currently discourse, it is war, it is injustice, it is cruelty, it is hatred, and it is separatism and materialism on all levels. So basically, we're surrounded, okay, by, energies that just want confrontation, okay? So when you are in that space where you can see this, the way I describe this right now, yeah, with your eyes open and you realize all the things that are going wrong or they're going into the wrong direction, all right, you become more careful. You become more attentive. You pay more attention to what it is that you are putting out into the world, that you are contributing to this. Hence, yeah, the plea to be very conscious right now. If there are things that you can get off your plate, that you can complete, that you can clear out, take care of this in this week. But at the same time, also make sure that how you are expressing yourself, especially in words, so spoken words and written words, that you do not sort of go overboard, that you do not, that you're not too critical, that you're not too judgmental, that you're not too harsh in what it is that you say to people. Sometimes we need this activation, we need to get angry about something so that we can finally let go of it. Do not wait that long. Yeah. Instead, and this is the part that develops for you when you can stay centered, really try to come from your heart. If you have to quit a job, or if you have to break up in a relationship, or if you have to say no to something, this can just be a simple confrontation with a friend or family member or whatever, and you have a hard time saying no. Raise your hand if you have a hard time saying no, or if you have a hard time with breakups or things that are just not going into the direction of harmony, but that feel like really disharmonious. Yes, me too. Me too. And I have to do this very, very consciously. What I'm about to say. Go into your heart, yeah? And when you are about to say no, this is like an extra step for you. You have to go in your heart first. And kind of feel in, and this is, where the I am breathing or other centering techniques come in. Yeah, take a deep breath. Really feel your heart and ask yourself, okay, why do I want to end this? Why do I want to say no? Be bone-crushing honest with yourself, okay? Just really be with yourself, and then ask yourself, how is that going to affect the other person? Most of you here are empaths, so you have no problems with that. And then ask yourself, would it be the right thing to not say no, or to just suck it up and me suffering instead? Or is it the better thing? You have to be honest to the other person and say, look, I have to heed my needs, my wants, my rules, whatever it is that you have the situation. Like I had to fire somebody, last week, and this isn't easy. This isn't comfortable, especially when you're an empath, okay? Yeah. So there was something about the rules that we have and certain guidelines, and if somebody does not adhere to them, all right, then, and you gave them many chances to correct that, yeah, then, you have to be honest. You have to say, look, I'm not saying that you're a bad person or anything, but it's just, those are our family rules, or our company rules, or my relationship rules, or my life rules. Yeah, so remind yourself of what it is that you are standing for, that you are making a stance for. And that is then what will give you the strength to find the right words. Always do I statements. Start every sentence with the way it feels to me. I've come to realize, upon thinking about this, I had an insight. I changed my mind. The way I'm seeing this now. Yes, those are all examples that you can use as phrases, to start a conversation based on you, based on what you are truly feeling. And then you add the very thing that you are measuring it by, yeah, according to my rules, according to what I need, according to what's best for me, or best for the company, or best for the family, or whatever, depending on the situation. I cannot do this. I simply can't. It would require me to contradict myself, to contradict my own needs, to contradict, what is sacred, what is important, what is dear to my heart, what is, whatever, to you. So if you lay things out this way, if you say, look, I can't agree to this, because if I agree to this, I have to contradict my own, needs, wants, rules, values, faith, yeah? And I cannot do that. And if you start a conversation like that, yeah, you can be assured that this is a lot easier and less confrontational because you're making it very clear where you're coming from. And it's all about you. The biggest mistake we all do is to start a sentence with you always, you never, you do this, and this is wrong, and da da da, and that's why I can't stand this anymore. And there you have your fight. There you have your explosions. There you have your, well, not very effective communication. And as I am talking about this here on our individual level, guys, all this is taking place on the global scale. Yeah, this is what is going on, for example, in the Middle East, in the Ukraine, and it will continue, and it will continue to escalate. I have been predicting this since last year. Okay, so till the end, at least the middle of December, guys, it's going to be like that. Just blah, 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 blah. Okay, and there's going to be more. And this next week is a week that carries the energetic signature of a big explosive event. Yeah, an actual terror attack. Yeah, so when these things happen far away, or on a stage that we cannot really control, right? Then this information doesn't really help you because it just kind of scares you, perhaps. But if you look at it as a reflection, yeah, if you look at the microcosmic and the macrocosmic things at the same time, we call this holistic thinking, by the way. If you look at your individual and the collective developments at the same time, you will see parallels. And therefore, if you want to make changes, and don't underestimate your power to make changes in the world, because every conscious choice and every conscious deed will also have consequences in a positive way. So in the forecast for November, I recommended that you guys all do one good deed a day to carry this force, to get used to consciously injecting the good and the beautiful and the true, yeah, into the collective field. And the way this goes, it always starts with your own field, and then with the people that are directly around you, and then the people that you come in contact with throughout the day, and then the people that you talk to, and then the people that you get to know. So you have to look at it as a ripple effect. So now, since we have the 8th of November, so the first week of November is already done, I want to ask you guys, I'll put you on the spot and ask you, did you guys remember to do one good deed a day? And if so, maybe not every day, but some days, would you like to share those with us? What are good examples for good deeds?
Hi, Jona.
Hi.
Yeah, I've been really into this and it's kind of cool. As long as my intentions are not to be seen, it feels so much more validating. And just helping a friend, like take them shopping or to the pharmacy or to the post office, and just to be there as support, not control anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So doing something for a friend, and you added another component to this, not to be seen. What you mean is not to project that out, not to expect anything back for it, to just kind of
I don't want
silently.
nothing. I get so much. Just
Mm-hmm.
like that's been me my whole life, and getting back to that, I feel so blessed.
Silently helping others. Okay.
I love doing that.
How do you facilitate this, Sean? Do you give your friend a call and ask, "Hey, do you need help?" Or how does this occur? How do you even get to that place that you can accompany someone to the pharmacy or go shopping with them? How just very practical. How does it go?
Well, I get a text, can you help? And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I'll help.
Okay. So that is in the case that somebody actually asks for help. Okay. And then you say yes, and that feels good for you and the other person. Other examples, guys. Yeah, saying yes to someone who asks for help. Other examples for good deeds.
How about just letting someone in the door before you? I find that to be really nice and
Right.
gracious.
And that's also considered to be good manners, right? So some of these things that are considered to be good manners are, well, baseline of goodness, right? Baseline of goodness. To actually say hello or good morning or have a good day. Yeah, when you enter a place and when you leave, wishing somebody, you know, greetings. Yeah, that's sort of the baseline of positive and respectful interaction. And I know some of your countries don't really foster that. It is something that I find extremely challenging, for example, when I'm in Germany. Yeah, because Germans are not used to this at all. When you come into a store and you say, hello, you know, and when you leave the store and say, thank you very much, have a wonderful day, they're not used to this. So it always sort of amuses me, how this can sort of magically make a smile appear on a person's face, and you can tell they're actually surprised. So things like this, guys, can be good deeds to just show other people, that there are ways to interact with another that can actually foster good feelings. Yeah, instead of coming in and complaining and, oh, did you hear about this? And, oh, the weather is so bad. And, oh my God, it's terrible what is going on there in Gaza. Instead of doing that, just say, hey, hello, how's your day going? Greetings. What are some other things that you can think of? Good deeds. One thing that my brother has taught me, and this is not something that I have done intuitively, that is to actually pick up the phone and just call a friend and say, hey, I want to do a good deed today. Is there anything I can help you with? It's my goal to do a good deed today. Is there anything I can help you with? And I'm doing this for myself. So just spit it out. Try that. It's really fun. Obviously, there's many, sort of socially conceived good deeds. I don't really want to go into them. When I recommend you guys to do good deed, I really am referring to the small things in life. Yeah, helping a little ladybug along the way, or clearing something out. Things like that. Or planting a plant, or just talking to trees, or smiling at other people when you walk down the road. All right, so this is the remedy, guys. This is the remedy for all this wall of explosive and violent energies that are sort of rolling toward us here in our societies. Okay, So stay centered, stay calm, and instead of focusing on how bad everything is, yeah, and you can do this consciously. So I'm not saying just negate it. No, be conscious of how bad it is, but instead of focusing on how bad it is, focus on the little things, the little deeds, the little random deeds of kindness, of goodness that you can add to your own life. Yeah, to your own life. All right, everyone. This is it, guys. Yes, we had time change. I can see that some of you are off an hour. We're at the end of the energy talk now. Um, have a good week. Remember what we talked about communication, expressing yourself, especially in words. Don't be hypercritical. Instead, focus on how you can get your own values and your own stance across, yeah, in a way that does not require you to get angry first. Okay? Yeah, use this activation energy. If you haven't done so, start a creative project. That's always the best. You know, like a drawing, a painting. I don't know, get Play-Doh out or start knitting something or crocheting something or whatever. Start something, because this activation energy that is coming in right now will give you the backwind, will give you the support, the energy that you need to do it. All right, everyone. I see you again very soon, and until then, stay conscious.
Thank you.
Bye bye.